Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Saturday, the 22nd of May. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host today. In the news today, we'll bring up speed with the NRL, Super Rugby, A-League, NBA, NBL, Sal's NBL action. We've also got squash news, our first report from Andy Rice, our golf correspondent, about the on the opening day of the PGA Championship. I will also bring up to speed with how the LPGA is going, and also on the result from the Giro d'Italia. So lots and lots to get through this morning. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And let's start off with that cycling. And Giacomo Nizzolo won the sprint, he chased down a late attacker as the main peloton all finished together. So no changes to the general classification. The Quebecer Assos rider has had 11 second places at the Giro d'Italia. This is his first ever victory. So congratulations to him, finally picking up a stage win in that one. Affini went, the Jumbo-Visma rider went close with a break in a late break, but Nizzolo chased him down in the final and went over him to win the stage. Moving on then to the basketball, and I say a whole host of basketball to talk about. In the NBA, we're in the play-in tournament where the Wizards took the final place in the East for the playoffs, beating the Pacers 142 to 115 in that one. The last place in the West will be decided between the Warriors and the Grizzlies today, before the playoffs themselves probably will start tomorrow. Over in the NBL in Australia, we had two games yesterday with the 36ers losing to the Hawks 81 to 73, and the Wildcats putting up a century to beat the Taipans 100 to 79. That season, and the Wildcats still in second, trying to close that gap on Melbourne United at the top in the table. Today it sees the Breakers in action against the Kings. Sorry, I've gone and got. Sorry, my results have not refreshed. And oh yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the Breakers are in action again today against Kings at 7:30 p.m. And also the Bullets will play the Southeast Melbourne and Phoenix later. Over in the Sal's NBL, which is obviously the one based in New Zealand. Sorry, just bringing up the results there in that one. Yesterday, just the one game as the Auckland Huskies beat the Hawke's Bay Hawks 92 to 71. And the Auckland Huskies giving the Hawks their first loss of the season. So a big win there, and upset by the Huskies in that one. Looking at the ladder, then that puts the Huskies up into second place, ahead of Hawke's Bay on just some points difference in that one there. The Wellington Saints, the only remaining team that's been undefeated with 5 wins from their 5 games, at the top of the table in that one. Moving on to the golf then, and let's bring in Andy. Andy Rice will bring us his report from day one of the US PGA Championship.
Kiawara Island. It was a day where Rory... Hello there, and welcome to a roundup of day one at the US PGA Championship at Kiawara Island. It was a day where Rory McIlroy, the pre-tournament favourite, hit trouble on his return to the Ocean course as Corey Connors from Canada moved into a 2-shot lead. McIlroy, who won the last time the event was staged at the South Carolina course back in 2012, signed for a very out-of-sorts 3 over par 75. By contrast, Canadian Connors edged clear at the top of the field with a very impressive 5 under par 67. Behind him, well, who was doing what exactly? England's Sam Horsfield, a very promising young player, and former world number 1 Brooks Koepka. Well, they're both part of a 6-strong chasing pack who sit 2 off the 29-year-old's early pace. Norway's Victor Hovland, and if you were watching the preview show the other evening, you'll know that he was one of my Magnificent 7 tips to do well. He's at 3 under, along with Australia's Cam Davis and Americans Keegan Bradley and Aaron Wise. Scotland's Martin Laird, one of the early starters, held top spot heading into the 17th tee, but carded successive bogeys and sits 1 further back. Defending champion, well, that's Colin Morikawa. He looks set to join the group on 3 under, but bogeyed his final hole to also finish at 2 under on a breezy opening day. That final hole proving the undoing of many a scorecard throughout the course of the day. Connor's best major finish before this year was joint 64th at the 2019 PGA Championship, but he finished in a share of 8th at the Masters last month and now leads at Kiawara Island. The world number 39 was 3 under through 7, and he atoned for his only bogey of the day at 9 with a birdie at 11, and then emerged from the group gathered at 3 under par with successive birdies on the 15th and 16th holes. Young Sam Horsfield, he's making his debut in the tournament, and he's within touching distance after a 69 that featured 5 birdies and 2 bogeys. What of big-hitting US Open champion Bryson DeChambeau, who said he planned to unleash the beast in a bid to tame the longest course in major championship history. Well, he started to the turn with 4 successive bogeys after edging to 2 under through his first 3 holes. All looked set fair. But then the world number 5 traded a birdie and a bogey after the turn, but made 2 birdies on his way back and got into the clubhouse at level par with a 72. Jordan Spieth, who I'm tipping to win this tournament this weekend, he needs the PGA Championship to become just the 6th player to complete the Grand Slam by winning all 4 majors and thus elevate himself into the pantheon of the gods, so to speak. Well, the American carded an opening 1 over 73 in which he bogeyed the 18th, that final hole again proving to be very difficult. None of the world's top 3 broke par. Dustin Johnson, he finished 4 over. John Rahm was level par, and Justin Thomas was 3 over. In terms of other notables through the course of the day, Europe's Ryder Cup captain, Padraig Harrington, he was got an eagle on the 11th and was able to card a 1 under par 71. And Phil Mickelson, who at the age of 50 is a year older than the 2008 winner of the tournament, Harrington, also stays in contention after a round of 70 that included 6 birdies and 4 eagles. As far as what follows for the rest of the weekend, well, the weather is set fair. It's due to get hotter. The wind is due to die down, so expect the course to get really firm and those greens start to bake up. Either way, we're in for a very, very interesting 3 days.
Thank you very much, Andy, for the update. He'll be back with the daily updates from the PGA Championship, so really looking forward to his insights in that. Looking at the LPGA then, and Kim is leading the way at the Kingsmill Championship. Kim and Korda both at 5 under par. Korda is back in the clubhouse, but Kim is on the course in the second round there. Lydia Ko taking a break before the ahead of the second major of the season is not in action. Moving on then to the squash, and in the squash, good starts for Kiwis over in Egypt. 7th seed Joel King beat Jan Shabir 11-7, 11-7, 11-5 in just 24 minutes. So a good win for her in the second round there. She got a bye in the first round. Paul Cole also played well, coming through. And 11-3, 11-8, 11-8. It took 54 minutes in that one, a bit longer for him, beating Egyptian Youssef Soliman in that one. So Cole also through the second round, winning in the second round there. He also had a bye in the opening round as well. So both Kiwis over there in Egypt in the squash going well in their opening games. Moving on then to the NRL. In the NRL, yesterday, 2 games up there. The Warriors beat West Tigers 30-26. So a good win there. And the Sharks beat the Dragons 13-12 in a real close one with that one. Obviously, join the boys on Wednesday at 8 p.m. for the standoff show. Well, they'll take you through all of that action in that one. Moving on then to the A-League. No action yesterday, but the Wellington Phoenix will be in action tonight up against Western United. A must win if they're going to try and keep their outside chance of making the playoffs. Both these sides on 28 points in the table. So it's a close one, 9th versus 10th for that one, as the Wellington Phoenix return to New Zealand for their for this game. Moving on then to the rugby, and in Super Rugby news, it looks like Joe Schmidt has been approached by both Moana Pacifica and Fiji Drua to be their head coach. It sounds like he has declined those, as look, he's living currently in Taupo, and after his head coaching of Islanders, said he wants to spend more time with his family, so he's going to. It's like he has turned down that one. He continues his consultancy work with World Rugby. In Super Rugby news, and the Hurricanes took on the Rebels down in Wellington, after some early pressure from the Rebels, who couldn't put any points on, the Hurricanes came back to score a couple of tries and take a 14-3 lead into half-time. In the second half, the Rebels got the first try to close it up to the gap to 6 points, but the Hurricanes just pulled away and won the game at 35-13, picking up the bonus point win in that one, looking comfortable. In the Force, that was followed by the Force versus the Highlanders over in Perth. The Highlanders making a real good start, jumping out to a 12-0 lead in the first quarter, as the Force had some early territory in possession, but we're just not picking up any points. That stretched out to a 10-20 lead at half-time, and in the second half, just 2 scores, as the game finished 15-25. With the Highlanders picking up the win, but missing out on the bonus point in that one. They're over in Australia. Today, 3 games. The Blues taking on the Waratahs, and don't forget there are Sevens games around that, as well as the New Zealand Sevens teams take on the New Zealand Sevens teams take on the Australian Sevens teams in exhibition games before and after that game at Eden Park. We also have the Chiefs versus the Brumbies, which I will be at. So look out for my post-match interviews on our Facebook page, New Zealand Sports Radio, and also the Reds versus the Crusaders. Join us at 8 p.m. on Sunday for the Super Rugby Review Show. You have now started the day the best way to be with all the important sports news. Have a fantastic day, start to your weekend.